Skills ISOs here. Just bringing another replay review because I found an interesting kill box that I wanted to go over, and because it shows off a fairly interesting geometry bug. Just cut out the start where I find the tombs and take a quick break. All the tombs were marked, it was good. But you see here, pistons on a line, that's pretty normal. And you might have just heard the first of the grappling hooks, iron cores. What you can't see just yet is that there's actually another iron core on the left there, in the same position with the angle towards me. But the one on the right is the only one firing, despite me being roughly in the center of the block. This is the geometry glitch I was talking about before. The not grappling hooks, the traps in general have a weird activation range when they're sitting on the sloped edge of a slope block. Depending, if you flip the slope block like 180 degrees, it actually changes where they activate. They activate either closer or further away. It's kind of like they're sitting like higher up on the block than they actually physically look. And it causes issues where, say for instance, that grappling hook was desynced to an activating, despite the fact they were in the exact same position to fire at me. Yeah, and obviously I just tried to run this. I've seen this room before. It's a bunch of incinerators, a bunch of grappling hooks all pointed at... The grappling hooks are pointed at angles, the incinerators are not. For the most part, there are some angled incinerators. And yeah, if you can get through it safely, it's... yeah, if you can just run through it, it's really good, because it means you don't have to deal with all the wall traps, which is quite dangerous. Only problem is that at the end of this corridor is actually a fairly well designed little room to stop you from moving. So I'm trying to knock down some of these pistons, so that I can make my run through a little bit safer. On the last life I noticed that there's a bomb trap on the left wall once I get into that room, which means I don't have time to collect myself unless I destroy it, and that can be difficult. I kind of need to destroy it then shield, which is why I'm sticking with this gun and shield loadouts. I have realised at this point that I would be much better off with grenades, but I was testing something before I ran this, and I forgot to put my grenades back on. And I forgot to change my loadouts between deaths. Yeah, so it's just me, yeah, just kind of proving to myself that I can get back if I shoot the wall one, so I can create safe areas. Yeah, that is possible. It takes ages to crawl back. Pretty sure you could do that on each of these if you really wanted to. Get closer and closer, it's just going to take forever. And I realise that at the moment I've done this first section, I'm just like, yeah, no, we're going to go back to our original plan. We're going to take out that, we've just got less distance to run now. And that might help. So run, shoot that. Realise, yeah, that I can't outweight the bomb. Shoot that, it has self-destruct. I end up dying to self-destruct because I can't run into that other room completely blind. Probably could have if I had thrown down a bubble shield to buy myself some time to collect myself. But that's not what I did. And if it hadn't been self-destruct, I actually probably would have been safe to run back. Which makes that self-destruct, you know, quite useful. It's quite good. It would have stopped most people, I feel. accidentally got caught by a grappling hook, but I know I can take out all these traps if I need to. I'm going to quickly do that, because I need to get my bolt back anyway. And I believe I die crawling back. No, not this time. Maybe it's on the other wall. So I need to get my bolt from the other wall now because of the shenanigan. And yeah, die crawling back across the roof. You can technically do it, you just need to be more patient than I am. Haven't changed my loadout yet. Okay. What do I try here? I'm still clearing out the incinerators, pistons, sorry, not incinerators. Clearing out the pistons. Just... I need some room for me to potentially make this run. No matter how much I clear, I'm always going to make a run for it, and I need to have all my bolts. So I'm trying to hit the pistons as they're up, because they're easier to hit, and the bolts will ricochet backwards most of the time because of the way I'm shooting them. And when they ricochet backwards, they land on the path, but they'll be closer to me than if I shot them while they were not out. Sometimes they'll fall in the acid nearby, but it seems to be only one acid thick. Which means I should be able to just pick it up as I walk by. And that's when I find out that there's an impaler directly above the incinerator at the end of the corridor. So I'm swapping to dual sword because I'm more familiar with them, and the last time I handled a room similar to this, it would have been on dual sword. And I know you can slash at both grappling hooks at the same time if you ever get caught. Exactly like that. Yeah, so I'm not going to risk trying to do that again when I can just take them one at a time. But yeah, I've taken them one at a time, and now I'm trying to get rid of some of this fire. Didn't realise that the one on the left had double down. Get a grenade in the back room, and with that grenade in the back room, you kind of see that it blows up everything. The incinerator at the end, the incinerators at the walls, and I can actually just make the run and sit here. Come around this corner, kill that, and then I have, even in the recording, I cannot see where that came from. There is a cannon back shot that somehow landed behind me, I guess. I think it's when I look to the left to hit the impaler on the left wall there. Try a quick, just running straight through. Didn't click fast enough on the second piston, third piston. Doesn't matter. It's not going to work. There's too many, it's too easy to mess up. So, still dual swords. Just trying to get a safe area here by breaking these. They're both down. And I'm just trying to test out the shenanigan where I move across the roof. Die to that corner one again. It's just too risky. Like, at this point I'm like, it's too risky to try and destroy everything, even if I do try it with that. So I just go back to the bolt lance and shield, because that makes this whole shenanigan where I'm just clearing the path a lot easier. I think I'm on the wrong suit for this life, which is fine because that life is very quick. Because I finally mess up a grapple, one of the shielding one of the iron claws, and it kills me. I get punished for it. So anyway, yeah, just back in here, step forward, arc shield. This This is like 100% the correct course in this particular situation. Well, maybe not 100%, because could make an argument that stepping a little bit further forward so you can get both at once is a little bit quicker. And probably worth doing. But I'm now going to get the one on the left. Breaking the grapples of these two grappling claws that are pointed at this block here is definitely the right call. Because they're the most likely to catch you coming back as well. And it gets you a much easier time for that shot that I just made, where I break the incinerator. Though, don't know how useful that is, because that can happen. Yeah, so that was the Iron Claw behind me. I didn't shield in time, because I need to shield directly after I blow up the bomb, and use the shield to break the Impaler in the back. And then get out of dodge before the explosion goes off. But there are easier ways to deal this. I'm now on the right suit. I've got my grenades. I've got the Bolt Lance and Shield, which is probably the easiest loadout to do something like this, where you need to like clear a path going straight forward. And I definitely messed this one up because I forgot to turn off the replay UI. And you can see that I didn't get the gem mat here. So what do I do here? I bet it's real dumb. How dumb am I thinking? I'm thinking, is this an Impaler death? Do I do the same thing as before, where I don't grenade the end room and then just die to the Impaler above the incinerator? Yeah. Yep. So what happened there, I shielded to try and survive the iron hooks that were coming at me from the iron claws that were coming at me from the actual room. Realised I didn't have enough shield to stop the bomb, so I shot the bomb trap. But then I was standing directly under the Impaler and died. Again. I think that's definitely at least the second, but it might be the third time I've done that. Here I finally realised I can break both of them at once. Should have realised that like 10 deaths ago. I only do one there because I know the other one's already broken. So I think here is when I realised to grenade. No, okay, so we just jump in to grab the ammo from the ones that fell a bit closer. And I think I start grenading here. Trying to get it through the gap between them, which is awkward because some of these are unstable. But not impossible. And there's the self-destruct from the Impaler, which literally never came up, because I never managed to destroy that Impaler. But yeah, none of those iron claws get me because of that, and I get to sit in this corner, where the cannon back around the corner here that killed me with the dual sword run can't get to me. I need to see what this room's about, so I just run in and throw down a arc barrier, and I see a bunch of cannonbacks. And I run forward to see what's further forward, just so that I'm not wasting the shield. And I see incinerator, 2 plasma sentinels, and freeze up. I think if I'd hit the incinerator, and maybe shielded, I could have maybe survived there. Either bubble or weapon shield. And now we're on to the final run. So I've got a plan here. I'm going to break these grappling hooks so that I can have this safe space here to stand on. And then I'm just going to take shots to clear out this run here. And then I'm going to run down there. Although I do mess up that grenade. It's fine, I only need 2 grenades. Well, I only need a grenade, I guess, for my plan currently. I'm just trying to destroy as much as I can to make this as safe as possible. And the arc shield was just in case the piston. I used the arc shield a little bit earlier just in case the piston came up, so I didn't want to get killed by the piston when I didn't need to. I did the same as last time, where I run just a little bit forward, and that's just to get set up, and then yeah, another arc shield, whatever they're called, little bubble shield, just so that I can get a clean shot on the incinerator. And see where the plasma sentinels are in their firing thing, and then just run out. Yeah, so the important thing to note with this particular one, the slope thing was causing the iron claws to fire at mismatched timing intervals. If you flip those 180 degrees so that the top of the slope is now the bottom of the slope, you actually can get them to sync up with one another, and you can decide where you want them to land. Like, do you want them to pull the person through the acid cube and fire slightly further back, or do you want them to wait until the person's already in there, already in the danger zone before they actually start firing? Either way, it's important to know to watch out for in your own bases. But that was it for me today, and I shall see you next time.